Hey, how's it going, all you lovely people? It's Shut Door or Door Shutter coming back to you with a brand new episode of FTB Skies. Today is episode 21, and I've been doing a little bit of stuff off camera. I actually did this before last episode, actually, where I just set up a whole bunch of endo flames in the perfect radius because the wooden pressure plate is actually right on the dot. But this is actually a very, very simple setup, basically just sending a redstone signal to this hopper to lock it so it doesn't send out a whole bunch of this coal blocks, and every time a Botania floating endo flame picks it up, it drops another one, repeat and repeat and repeat. And so I've just set down a few mana splitters that are, splitting off into several different pools, which is fantastic. So we're getting a decent chunk of mana. I've also finished up this whole system as well. And you could actually use this to get the obsidian one, which is the blazing mesh, I believe, as well. So there's quite a few things. I've also set up the turn off for this as well. So whenever there is, let's see, what was it? I think it was 2,000 per is in here. It'll shut the whole system off, which is fantastic. So what are we doing today? Well, we want to get a Runic Altar. So we're going to kind of progress a little bit through Botania, because we need to get Elementium ingots, right? So let's go for it. So mana spreader here. Bind mode. Can we bind this? I'm going to do a little cheeky strat because this mana pool is the fullest. And when we get this, let's see. There's no, wait. Oh, it's right here, right? Mana manifest. So it's just kind of telling us to go towards Terrestrial, the portal to Alfheim, and then the Ritual of Gaia. So we aren't really bound by anything to do. Really, we can do whatever we want. Of course, sparks are probably going to be fantastic to get in the future, especially it just helps mana, spreading instead of needing a whole bunch of mana spreaders. You actually can just use sparks to quickly transfer mana. So what do we need here? All right. So the terrestrial agglomeration plate. I always kind of forget the name. So we need a rune of fire, a rune of air, a rune of mana, a rune of earth, and a rune of water. Okay. So I'm going to... So this is sugar, I believe. No, it's gunpowder, redstone. Oh, it's a few things. So sugar works. Okay. Manasteel ingots, of course, are just iron ingots in here. So that'll give us 2. We go here. We need mushroom, stone, manasteel ingot, mana powder. So that one's just ender pearl and 5 iron ingots. This one is, of course, sugar, iron ingot, carpet, feather, string. And the fire one is nether wart, nether brick, gunpowder, sugar, and iron. Okay, also, I wanted to quickly mention I have added a tank upgrade, or a tank to each one of these. But I think I actually want to grab a jumbo tank and actually place this. Let's see. Let's grab a stack of these because I need them for a second here. I want to be able to just have a couple jumbo tanks here. And that way we can actually store enough pink slime while we're actually busy, because I'm not worried about pink slime as of current. So let's go jumbo tank, ender tank, and let's switch this one up as well. These are actually filtered out, by the way. All I did was I grabbed a bucket of each and filtered them on each of these. So once you have a bucket, you can just click in here and you can see that it goes to that. So that is fantastic. And then we can do this. This is probably not the most elegant solution for this, by the way, but this should store enough for us so we don't have to worry about it for a little bit. All right, so then we can do crescent hammer, pipe upgrade, crescent hammer, pipe upgrade. And we'll get to automating the dissolution chamber sooner or later. Probably soon, because we will need to request a whole bunch of the pink slime ingots, but we also need to get towards the Elementium. So, all right, let me be right back. So quickly, whenever you use this, by the way, you do need living rock. So let me actually grab some living rock here, because I guess I didn't even think about this whenever I was mentioning that I was going to just do these all off camera. But you can see that there's a progress bar on the right side. Once that green circle fills in fully, you will be able to actually see, because there will be like sparks and stuff coming out of the table a little bit. Doodly-doo. Okay, so you can see that there's like little lightning coming out. So if you drop this on the table and then right click with the wand of forest, that is how you get the actual runes out. So let me get the rest of them and I'll be right back. Alrighty, so I quickly went ahead and I've crafted the terrestrial agglomeration plate. And to use this, we actually need lapis blocks. I think we need 5 in total. And then we also need living rock, which we have right here. So let's go over... Let's go right here. Okay. And if I remember correctly, which I may not, the pattern for this is not that. Oop, my magnet's not on. I believe it was this. Okay. Let's see. Let's where's my Lexica Botania here? Sneak click. Yes. Okay, so that is it, because the living rock always goes under the plate. That's why I always remember it. So, all right. Now that we've got that, I just got a whole bunch of stuff like done. What was that? Oh, this. Okay. So we're going to need sparks. Sparks, sparks, sparks. All right. What am I picking up? Is there a loot bee? Oh, okay. Loot bees are kind of worthless in all this honesty, but that's okay. So we need... How do we make sparks? They aren't that expensive in reality. I've got some stuff in here that we could use, because we're going to need more than just one spark. So we want that. And then I think we could kind of probably place one on every mana pool we have for right now. Just kind of go like this. And we'll get rid of this guy for right now. Okay. And I don't know if we have enough mana to do this. I genuinely have no idea. But we can try. What in the world? Oh, a bee spawn egg? I haven't even touched bees. There's a mega mana cell housing. I kind of wish there was a refined storage version of this. Applied Botanics mod. Because I would love to see... I would love to see that, because it's just like I love seeing like an equivalence between applied and applied energistics and refined storage. Because I mean, there's pretty much an equal amount of people that love both mods, right? So it's kind of like when one mod has something else, it's kind of like, that's, you know, why not put it on both, man? I mean, they're completely different systems, right? It's not as easy as 1, 2, 3, right? So I can understand to some extent. Ooh, that like worked quick. What in the world? Okay, but we got our first Terrestrial ingot, which is fantastic. And we actually need this to make the glimmering living wood. So that's kind of why we wanted to rush towards Terrestrial, because we can now craft up the glimmering living wood. Or no, it's not this one. Which one is it? This thing? Yeah. I know one of these requires Terrestrial. But this does need a mana pylon, which requires mana diamonds. And I have 2 mana diamonds. So I think we can make 2 of these mana pylons. Okay. And we can make 2 of those. And then... Of course, you can look at the book, by the way. You do not need to look at this at all. The actual quest book. The Lexica Botania actually has a portal to Alfheim thing. So portal. Yeah, the portal to Alfheim. You can see here, there's the actual visualization. So if we wanted to, we could place this down. And you can see that there is... Let's see, where is it at? The actual list is, I think, in here. 8 living wood blocks, 3 glimmering living wood blocks, an elven gateway core, and at least 2 mana pools. So then you've got the elven gateway core and the nature pylons. Okay, so that's just something to take note of. But let's grab this thing. And then let's grab the glimmering, I think is what we needed next. So glimmering. So we want to just grab some of this. Oh, we want this recipe. Do we need 8 of that, I think? Just quickly cycle through here real quick. No, we only needed 3. Why are you that recipe? It is wanting you to have this. I do not know why it wants you to have that to complete that quest. That is kind of annoying. But that's okay. So we can see up here that you can actually look at these blocks. I guess you can't look at all of them. But you can kind of visualize. It's weird. That is strange. I wish you could look at all of them. You kind of can. But you can't look at the side ones. Alright. That's a bit weird. So we want to place... Let's just go do this. So this one here. This one here. And this is actually telling me, hey, you're not supposed to have blocks here, by the way. Which I like that. I like how it's telling me that. So let's grab some living wood. Yeah, this is doing pretty decently. I mean, it's not the fastest thing in the world, but also the pure daisy is not the fastest thing in the world. So keep that in mind whenever you build any kind of pure daisy thing. All right, then we can knock that out. And then we need 2 mana pools. The quest completed these because I've already crafted so many mana pools, by the way. So then we want to place a mana pool, I think, like right about here and right about here. That may be kind of wrong, but I know that you can place them kind of anywhere as long as they're in a certain area of the Elven Gateway core. And then we want to grab a couple sparks. Actually, we can get sparks from this, right? Yeah, with the domination augments, which we want to slap in here. Okay, and basically what that'll do is it will pull all mana from every other source, like as a priority. So every bit of mana we have should funnel into these pools, which is exactly what we want because we want to be able to activate this this portal. But we're also going to have to automate a few things here, and I think we want to probably get some better Flora before we automate anything, because yeah, we are basically out of mana here. So what I kind of want to do is... Let's look at generating Flora. What do we have access to now? Because I know this just kind of updates over time. So we've got the explosion one. This is the TNT. We've got the Munchadu, generate the form of natural energy that is mana. Is done from other living materials. The Munchadu will eat up nearby leaves and convert them into mana. However, no saplings or any others will be dropped from the leaves. A hefty sum of mana per tree's worth of leaves. After around a minute. The Gormalius. What is this one? There's some unidentified power in the universe that creates slimes. At certain points, seemingly. So I don't want to do a slime chunk one, that's for sure. Rose Arcana. Experience points contain a magic of their own. So this is just like mana from XP. Gormalius is a hungry flower. 8 items. So this one just basically eats food. The Thermal Lily, which does lava. Alright. So I'm not sure which one I would want to get into. I mean, we could look at the Munchadu. I don't think I've ever automated a Munchadu. So I haven't made the Munchadu yet, but the reason is, and I actually want to quickly activate this portal, and this actually just got full, because I want to grab an augment. Whenever it comes to Botania, the augments, even the ones we just put in here actually, they are needing pixie dust, which is an ender pearl, which is then converted to a mana pearl, which is then converted to pixie dust. But there are several different ones, and we can't actually see what these do because we don't have that chapter unlocked. But I want to get the dispersive one, which basically we would put right here. on all 3 of these, and then it would disperse to any other mana pool that has a spark on it, right? So it'd always try to empty its pool no matter what, which is fantastic. So I want to grab that because I want to make the Runic Altar just a little bit better. And to do that, we do need that, because I want to be able to not have a whole bunch of mana spreaders firing all at once. So I want to just put this, oop, no, not there. I want to put this here, and then of course bind this, bind this to the Runic Altar, but have 3 mana pools always kind of firing to actually give me mana over there instead of a whole bunch of spreaders. So let's right click this, okay? And this is going to take quite a bit of mana, by the way, to activate. But once it's activated, it actually takes less mana to operate over time. So it'll use a constant flow of mana, but it will not use an excessive amount of mana. So let's grab a mana pearl. Actually, hold on. So this is activated, right? I think. What we want to do is we take our Lexica Botania and toss it through the portal. And this will give us an updated Lexica Botania, which will give us a little bit more information. So you can see that we have now a few more flowers. What is this one? The Rafflesia flower functions similar to a Kikamiris, but eats man-made flowers and the petal apothecary instead. It'll consume any nearby placed flower and synthesize mana from it. Huh. It's interesting. It's like a cannibalistic flower. Shulk Me Not is a generating flower that creates mana from the power of levitation. It is if a nearby monster is targeted and hit by a Shulker's projectile and the Shulk Me Not internal buffer is empty, both mob and Shulker will be killed, generating ludicrous amounts of mana from the process. A few points should be made. Both entities' experience and loot are lost, and both entities must be within the flower's range. That is actually a really cool flower, I'm not gonna lie. I would have no idea how to go about automating that. I mean, we could, in theory, whenever we get to the end, get, shulkers, and maybe even use that to get mana, but that'd be interesting. The Spectrolus is a flower that's particularly found various hues of wool. It'll consume any and all wool blocks dropped nearby, converting them into mana. However, it's picky as to what color it wants. Starting from white, after it eats one piece of wool, it'll rotate to the next color in its spectrum. While it'll consume all wool around it, it will only create mana if it gets the color it wants. The color crave at the... Okay. Consume refined wool, but you wonder what would happen if you gave it wool straight from the source. Okay, that sounds like a pretty cool flower too, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, but now we have access to the augments, or we should have access to the augments. So I want to look at this one. Finally, the isolated augment prevents a spark. Nope, where is it at? Dispersive. Allows a spark to drain the mana in its pool to charge nearby players' mana-containing items. So that's not what I'm thinking. Isolated prevents a spark from interacting with dominant recessive sparks. Recessive makes a spark distribute all its mana into nearby non-augments or dispersive pools until its own is completely empty. Okay, so recessive is the one I was thinking. But still, we need to grab 1, 2, 3 of those. And then we're going to grab the recessive one, which we might need. Yeah, we're going to need more runes of earth. But we should be able to smack a recessive onto one of these, and that should start trying to push its mana outwards, which is exactly what we want. But we do need multiple of these so we can actually get this to work properly. So let me be right back. I'll get the rune we need, and we'll grab 2 more of those. So we've got an unforeseen problem. I can't get a cow. I legitimately have been I've killed probably a good 1,000 creatures here. And I've got nothing. Cows are not spawning. And I have no idea why. That's the same thing with the other mob farm. The only thing that is spawning is the Ars Nueva creatures. And I need a cake to actually be able to obtain what is it, the Rune of Winter? I don't know. I think I could probably get a cake from a loot bag, but I really was hoping to get a cow because I don't know. I think that might be a problem in the future, right? Because I can't do anything without milk when it comes to like cakes or anything. So let's take this out. I'm gonna let them build up in here because I genuinely have no idea. I don't know why the delightful dirt is not spawning mobs properly. I'm gonna look at the configs real quick and see if maybe I can blacklist the Ars Nueva creatures for a minute or something, because that is not supposed to be happening. I should be getting cows, and I am just not. So I'll be back. Alrighty. So I crafted up a Munchadoo, and I'm not going to be using the Munchadoo because there's no real good way of automating this currently that I could find. Of course, we could, get some leaves and just automatically place them somehow, but there's no shearing at all. The Industrial Foregoing mod doesn't have the shear add-on anymore, and I genuinely have no other ideas for the Munchadoo, and I thought there was going to be some simpler way to do it, but there appears not to be. So we're going to try something else, I guess. And I don't really have any idea what that's going to truly be, but I do want to try and set up some automation. Let's quickly grab a mana pool. Let's grab a spark. Okay, and we're going to set up Botania Automation, I think. And if we need more mana, we will get it by manually doing the Munchadoo or something for right now, because I don't know. But let's grab a modular router. Both of these have a dropper module in it. Let's actually put this... Come on. Put this right here. I'm just using the chest as a block, by the way. Let's see. So we've got... We basically want to drop a Manasteel or iron into this, right? So we're going to say iron. So C, iron, and then when we drop the iron, should become Manasteel, and then we grab a vacuum hopper, vacuum something rather. We can actually grab the vacuum module from this. What is that noise? Is that my headphones? Well, I don't even know. I just heard like a buzzing noise in my headphones. That was a strange one, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Blink module. Hopper. And we need an Eye of Ender. Okay. And then we should be able to automate this by simply doing that on the down direction. So now if we grab iron, okay, and then if we grab a crafter, let's see here. So if we go for, let's grab some cobblestone or something so I can actually build. Why does my refined storage system keep doing that? This is probably the buggiest pack I think I've ever played in my professional opinion, you know. I mean, I've seen buggy, but like the refined storage system is definitely weird. I've never seen that in any other pack. Like even the TAC pack, I don't see it. So maybe it's something with functional storage or something. Who knows? Um, okay, and then we want a network receiver and a network card. So we're gonna plop this down right here for right now. Do this, and then we're gonna set this to. Oh wait, this doesn't have that mode. I think that's applied energistics, isn't it? Where you can push into the inventory once it's done crafting. All right. Well, to get around this, because I know it's going to be an issue, let's just grab a vacuumlator. Let's grab a filter augment. Okay. And then what we can have is just this basically being right here. Have the filter augment put in here. And then just say this allow. And then we can grab an import bus, I believe. At refined import. There it is. I believe this is the right one. And then we can do this. We can do cable. All right. And then that should allow for us to then take this out. And of course, we can just clear this by putting it in our crafting inventory table thing. And then let's go put the card in a transmitter. All right. And then let's grab a pattern. So we're going to say Manasteel. Recipe. This. Create. We could also do a diamond. Mana diamond here. We also could do a mana pearl. But we do have to remember my mana is not that great, so it's probably not going to be able to do a lot of auto crafting all at once. And then we're just going to do sugar here, because sugar... Actually, no, not sugar. Let's just do redstone. Redstone will be easy. Okay. And I think that should be all we need to do here for that automation. And the next automation we'd want to do is over here. So let's see. So throwing in the patterns. So if we quickly grab Manasteel 10, I think we should be able to shoot for that. That's working. Fantastic. It's slow, but I'm okay with that because then it kind of gets a little bit of mana every so often. So then we should have 10 of that in here. So yep, we've got 85 instead of 75. Now the next thing we want to do is grab a crafter and kind of place this a little weirdly. So we're going to want to do a block there, a block here. No, not that. But if I pick this up, hold on. I want to pick this up like this. There we go. Because we're going to need, I guess we could actually do another modular routers. Modular router. This actually has a dropper upgrade already in it. So we could probably do crafter here, modular router here, and then we want to grab Manasteel. Okay. And then here's going to be the problem. Is that we want this to dispense... I guess actually it doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, it's just going to dispense everything anyway. So we're going to say to the right, whitelist Manasteel. And then also, I completely forgot to whitelist all these, by the way. So redstone, diamond, ender pearl. So let's press C on that. Redstone, ender pearl, diamond. And then let's, of course, quickly just grab each one of these to then vacuum filter. Perfect. So we don't have problems with that in the future. Okay. And then, of course, we could just do another vacuum later. Makes it easier, right? Grab a couple of those. All right. And then, of course, we want a filter augment. Alrighty. So we're going to then place this here, and then we want to grab... do I have any Elementium? No. So we're going to take out 2 Manasteel, toss that into the portal. We're going to then filter this. So we can't shift click into there, so we're going to click allow. And then we're going to grab another importer. Okay. And I was hoping, I don't know if this is actually a thing I can do, but we'll see. Is this a thing I can do? If I place the entangled block here, okay, and I grab an entangled build or binder here, can I bind this to this to give this power? I mean, it kind of looks like it's working, but it also kind of doesn't. I mean, we could quickly go grab a pattern and see. There's no problem with that, right? So if we go here, we go for Manasteel, press use on this. So we want to see the Alfheim portal recipe, so this. And I mean, we could simplify this, just set this to 2, clear this one out. There we go. Okay. And let's go see if we see this. So here, so at Botania. No. All right. And I kind of don't want to keep doing network everywhere, but I guess we can do another one. And it does make things a little cleaner, so we're not running cables legitimately everywhere. All right, so let's give this a shot here. So Elementium, I want 10 of this. Start. So you can see that the Manasteel is being thrown in. I mean, this is working. Let's quickly also cover our own rears here and grab a demagnetization coil. Because if I'm over in this area for any reason with my magnet on, this could break everything. So I can just set this here and just increase the range. Okay. So that works. I think the next thing we want to do, how many do I need of this, right? We need to basically build up a lot of mana somehow to get to 256 Elementium. I mean, we could just shoot for it and see what happens. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Let's just go 64 right now. Which should fire this. We don't need a really massive range for this either. Okay, so this is going to start cruising. And then over here we should see this is working. Alright, where is my Wand of the Forest here? How much mana do we have in here? So we're kind of depleting it quickly. So if we grab a Munchadoo and we grab some leaves. So before we place down the Munchadoo, let's get a mana spreader. A mana pool. So here, and I guess we could actually kind of just set this right here. Bind that to this. Before we place this down, let's place down some leaves. Just so whenever it gets placed down, we can immediately start harvesting these leaves, right? Okay. And place this down. And then we can grab a spark. And a spark recessive here. Alright, and that should start pushing its mana out. Alrighty. So that should have crafted all of it, right? Nope, it's doing that again. Dang it. 62. Okay, so we lost 2 pieces somewhere. Nope, they're still being crafted. Okay. So now we have 75 in total. So I want to try and shoot for 128. I'm hoping this is going to work. I'll be back. Alrighty, so quickly here, we're going to finish up this episode by automating the dissolution chamber. And I'm running a little bit behind here today, so we're going to crescent hammer. No, we want the refined storage thing, don't we? This thing right here. Okay, and this is going to be a bit more complicated, I think, than the last one. Well, if I can type entangled block, there we go. Okay. And we can place this here and here. Enter tank, and then we could grab the binder to, or no, bind this to this, bind this to this, do this, do this. These should fill up. Perfect. And then we can grab item pipes here and here. Disable this side. I can't use this one. Do that, do that. Grab a couple advanced pipe upgrades. Do this. And then we want to make sure we give this power. So energy pipes, fantastic. And then I think what we'll want to do is on the left side, we'll want to pull, and then the up direction we'll want to push. Same thing for this one. Left side, pull, and then output, push. And I need to fix this one because this should be output, push. Okay. So what we want to do then is quickly come over here and make pink slime ingots. So pink slime ingots, this stuff right here. And we don't care about that. So get rid of the fluid because the fluid's already just being pushed in here. So we'll place this here and this should work. So we need how many pink slime ingots? 128. So we'll go 128, start. And we should look over here and we should see that this won't push in another recipe until this is done. Which is fantastic, exactly what we want. But when this is done, it should pull out. Of course, we're going to want speed upgrades, but I'm going to automate all of that off camera. We might need another dissolution chamber, but we'll see for latex. But yeah, so that's going to work. It's going to take some time, and we're going to wrap up the episode here. Thank you guys so much for watching. We got quite a bit of stuff done this one. We actually did get the insightful crystals pumped in. I just used a task screen. You guys have seen me do that with energy. But yeah, so we got 512 of those, 256 Elementium. In the next episode, we'll get into the drenched iron ingot thing. And then hopefully we'll have pink slime done. And then this one we'll get to as well. And we're just going to kind of keep going with the overpowered stuff and kind of just go through that and automate as needed. So thank you guys so much for watching another episode of FTB Skies. Stay awesome, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye-bye.